How dare you take or attempt to take something that does not belong to you because you're selfish and because you feel that you deserve it? That's not America. We banded together to share our narrative because a lot of Black men on Capitol Hill are not allowed to speak up. A lot of people of color on Capitol Hill are not allowed to speak up. A lot of staff are not allowed to speak up.
On January 6th, the first thing that I said when I woke up was, I don't feel good about this day.
I was going to work because I wanted to witness history. It would have been my first time for me seeing Congress ratify a presidential election.
We had been made aware that there was going to be protesters, and working on Capitol Hill, you're no stranger to, protests.
I remember the second that Donald Trump said, we're going to march down to the Capitol, and I'll be there with you.
We're going to walk down Pennsylvania Avenue. I love Pennsylvania Avenue. And we're going to the Capitol.
My boss and I hurriedly got back to our office. As we're going, we encountered a Capitol police officer whose radio was up, and they basically sent out this sobering message that all Capitol police officers get to your posts immediately.
And we got the notice to hunker down into our office and lock the doors. And I'm a staffer. I have a badge, but I don't have privilege to walk on the House floor or the Senate floor. And that's when we knew then that it was serious.
Seeing that these were military trained insurrectionists that were feet away from us still makes me pause. It still alarms me, and it still, to a certain extent, it scares me. I still kind of hide my badge now, because you just never know.
These people were openly walking their Confederate flags down Pennsylvania Avenue from the White House to the Capitol, and proudly walking this Confederate flag in a building that was built by slaves. It was just shocking.
As we saw them breach the Capitol in places that are strategically hidden because of the capacity or the gravity of the elected official who occupies that space. Seeing them and knowing I have friends in those offices that are hiding and praying for their lives that was what was concerning in that moment. My mom saying, "Oh my goodness, I'm watching CNN. Are you okay? Text me now. Call me. Call me."
This is from my father. He said, "Michael, I love you, and I hope that you're safe. I'm watching this on TV right now. And we're just making sure that you and the Congresswoman and your staff are safe. Please be safe, son, and call us when you can."
Are you still safe? Call me. Call me. Are you okay? Are you still safe? Are they still there? I love you. Kind of hit a heartstring right there a little bit.
You don't want to let them know that this is a stressful moment for you, but also as a comms person, a comms director, it's still our job to work for the American people and to make sure that this story is getting out there and that they're getting constant updates. So I was still working while everything was happening.
It's kept me busy with the Congresswoman being an impeachment manager, because I still have not been able to thoroughly take in what has happened. Like I tell some of my friends, PTSD is real.
There was a moment with during the impeachment when Congresswoman Stacey Plaskett laid out the new model. It just makes me constantly think, what if they had gotten to us? What if they weren't stopped? What if we had lost our democracy? Because that was a considerable force, a considerable effort made to overturn our democracy. And it truly shows you how fragile our democracy is. Let me be very clear. The Black Lives Matter movement is in response to the murder and the lack of value placed on Black lives. That is where the anger and anguish has arisen from, right? This insurrection was based, one, on a lie. It's not founded in truth at all. And even if it was, it's based on a lost election, right? You can't conflate the fact that unarmed human beings that happen to be Black are being gunned down in the street, to the fact that your pick for president, who didn't do a particularly amazing job at that, wasn't reelected. People will quickly dilute an experience or restructure an experience to favor a specific demographic of people and make light of a situation that was deadly.
I do not want it to be watered down, right? It should be told as true as it happened, right? It was a domestic terror attack. Oral history is extremely important. And it's important to tell these stories so they're not forgotten. So, I'll tell it, and I'll tell it as many times as I need to for as many people to hear, not just in this country, but abroad as well, because moments like this are not just a blurb on TV. It's not going to just go away. People have to live with this trauma for the rest of their lives.
How dare you? How dare you take or attempt to take something that does not belong to you because you're selfish and because you feel that you deserve it? That's not America. And don't adorn yourself with the title of patriot anymore. People lost their lives. People died. People took their lives. Trauma compounds because y'all lost. You would inflict this type of pain on fellow Americans. Shame on you.